Right now on Denver 7 News, a draft of a U.S. Supreme Court opinion leaks showing the court will likely overturn Roe v. Wade, how Coloradans are reacting, and what our state is doing to protect abortion access.
The growth that many rural communities have seen during the pandemic doesn't look like it's slowing down. What is driving people to smaller towns and the impact on the overall economy from this. And some doctors are concerned what they consider to be outdated terms are leading to patients being belittled or blamed for health issues, the shift that they are pushing for to improve care.
But we start out with a live look at the U.S. Supreme Court in Washington, D.C. A large group of protesters on both sides of the abortion debate is out there now and really has been all day. It comes one day after the leak of the court's draft opinion that would overturn Roe v. Wade, the landmark case that federally guarantees the right to have an abortion. And it's not just happening at the Supreme Court. People around the country are rallying and protesting at state capitals, including right here in Colorado. Denver 7's Patrick Perez is live outside our state capitol, where one rally has wrapped up and another is scheduled to start soon. Patrick?
Yeah, Jason, this was just one of 3 scheduled rallies happening today at the Capitol. Like you mentioned, it started at noon and it wrapped up just a few hours ago. And despite this being a Tuesday, a lot of people showed up here to the West Side Steps. So here's some video from earlier today of this noon rally. The rally was quick to organize following the leak of the contents inside of that draft opinion last night. Dozens of people held up signs, they chanted. It's all in opposition to the Supreme Court potentially overturning Roe versus Wade. The impact of that would not be felt here in Colorado because of the recently passed Reproductive Health Equity Act, which protects Coloradans' access to abortion for now, but it is still concerning enough for this crowd and several state lawmakers who joined them.
The only thing that unsafe and illegal abortion do is kill people. And I don't know if y'all are like me, but I'm pretty sick of white men without medical degrees telling me what to do with my reproductive organs.
So definitely a lot of anger today at the Capitol. That second rally that I mentioned is scheduled to begin in just under an hour at 5 o'clock. A third rally is scheduled for right after at 6:30. We'll keep you posted. For now, live outside the state Capitol, I'm Patrick Perez, Denver 7.
Supreme Court Chief Justice Roberts has directed an investigation into the source of the leak. He put out a statement today saying, in part, to the extent this betrayal of the confidences of the court was intended to undermine the integrity of our operations, it will not succeed. He says the court's permanent employees and law clerks are intensely loyal to the institution. But Bo Evans gives us perspective that this is not the first time that information has leaked from the Supreme Court.
In a town where nothing is secret, one building has seemed to keep its secrets for the better part of 200 years.
This leak is thus remarkable because it's a breach of that idea that they do all this behind closed doors.
This is Joshua Wilson, the chairman of the Political Science Department at the University of Denver. And by now, you've probably heard about the leak he's talking about. Politico published a draft Supreme Court majority opinion that would overturn Roe v. Wade, ending federal protection of abortion.
The case that the court is specifically hearing is Dobbs versus Jackson Women's Health Clinic, which is a case disputing a Mississippi law that essentially bans abortion at 15 weeks.
While the leak of the draft majority opinion written by Justice Samuel Alito might be shocking, this is not the first time information is leaked from the Supreme Court. University of Georgia media law professor Jonathan Peters tweeted about several instances where the court's business was leaked, going back to an 1852 case about a bridge. Peters and many others have brought up the original Roe v. Wade decision was leaked to Time magazine. It's unclear what punishments could be available to Chief Justice John Roberts if the source of the new leak is discovered. I'm Bo Evans reporting.
Well, as Patrick Perez mentioned earlier, Colorado recently passed a law protecting women's health care rights. Now, Governor Polis signed the Reproductive Health Equity Act last month. It solidifies the right to access reproductive health services like abortion and contraception in Colorado law. It also bans the punishment of anyone who seeks out those services. The law was originally passed in response to several states like Kentucky, Oklahoma, and Texas passing laws to significantly restrict abortion. It would allow abortions in our state even if Roe v. Wade is overturned. Now, just 2 months ago, Colorado Republicans tried to pass 2 bills that would outright criminalize abortion in all instances, and a third that would force doctors to report abortion patient information to a state database. Now, Colorado Democrats used their majority in both the House and Senate to quickly kill those bills. Today, the Colorado GOP released a statement about the Supreme Court's leaked opinion, saying in part, quote, Republicans believe that every single life is precious and that every child is worth saving. Equal rights are not equal until they extend to every human being. I pray that the Supreme Court releases an official decision that recognizes that fact. Now, we're also hearing from Colorado women who have had abortions and their thoughts on this leaked opinion. Now, opinions vary widely when it comes to a woman's right to choose, even among women who have had abortions in the past. Selena Nahar had an abortion back in 2020. She was 25 at the time, and her career was just getting off the ground. When making the decision, she looked at what she wanted for her life, considered her finances, and eventually decided it wasn't the right time for her to start a family. Now she works for Cobalt, the largest abortion rights organization in Colorado, and says she wouldn't be here where she is today if she'd had that child.
The overwhelming feeling I feel when I think about my abortion is relief. Abortion care doesn't have to be traumatic. It's societal stigma that traumatizes people.
Not the opinion of everyone who's had an abortion. We also spoke with Rachel Flick, who had one at the age of 18. She says she regrets the decision because of the emotional impact it had throughout her life. Both of these women will be sharing their stories tonight on Denver 7 News at 6. And stay with Denver 7 as this story continues to develop. You can find more reactions from advocates on both sides and more information about Colorado's abortion laws right now on thedenverchannel.com.
There's some promising news today about a country that there are worries may try to help Russia in the war in Ukraine. U.S. leaders have expressed concern that China might provide assistance, but now they say 2 months into the conflict, they have not detected any military or economic support from China. President Biden is preparing for a trip to Asia. The administration is also set to release its first national security strategy on China. Now, the U.S. is stepping up its efforts to help bring home WNBA star Brittney Griner from Russia. Her case is now being handled by a special State Department on hostage affairs. She is officially considered wrongfully detained. Griner was taken into custody at a Moscow airport in February. Vape cartridges containing oil derived from cannabis were found in her bag, according to Russian officials. She played in Russia during the offseason. Meanwhile, the league announced today it will honor Griner this season. Every team's home court will feature a decal with her initials and her number 42. The WNBA also said it will allow Griner's team to continue to pay her without accounting against their salary cap. The Federal Reserve is expected to raise interest rates again tomorrow to address record inflation, but there are also growing concerns about a possible recession. We're going to get answers on that and the immediate impacts that you can expect from yet another rate hike.
And a Colorado man wanted for the death of his mother has been caught. How police were able to track him down thousands of miles away.